Hello, I'm Mr. Dapperton, and today we're going to talk about libertarianism.
Should someone have to have a government-issued license to drive a car?
Hell no.
What's next? Requiring a license to make toast in your own damn toaster?
The license to drive? You know, I'd like to see some competency exhibited by people before they drive.
Libertarianism, America's favorite political sideshow. While they're often looked at as just a fringe group of political whack jobs who think that the road to Stalinism is paved with driver's licenses, the truth is their ideology is much more influential and dangerous than you probably realize.
If we moved into an ANCAP or libertarian society, a society with no government to administer driving tests and give out driver's licenses, I'm sure private insurance companies will make you take a mandatory driver test to ensure you're a safe driver before even giving you insurance.
Because libertarianism isn't so much a political philosophy as it is a religious ideology where the Lord and Savior is pure, unadulterated capitalism.
So according to your own criteria, to be religious, all you have to do is believe in something. Well, don't you believe in the state? So does that make statists like you religious nuts?
Invisible hand of the free market? Take the wheel.
But without massive government, the businesses will control us. No, in a libertarian society where there's little government, you control the businesses. Not the other way around where the businesses control you. You control the businesses directly because you fund things directly by doing business with them. If you don't like a company that pollutes, don't do business with them, and then they go under. They go out of business, and that company no longer pollutes. See, you vote with your wallet instead of voting for a president who votes for you. You control everything directly with your wallet. You have direct control over society in a libertarian society. The businesses don't control you. You control the businesses. You control society directly. You have way more control over what happens in society in a libertarian system than you do with government.
American libertarianism is the idea that government is evil and needs to be dismantled. Libertarians don't see society as a collective, they instead champion radical individualism. They see the free market as a force for absolute good and government as solely a corrupting force. One of the primary ways they express these beliefs is by shrieking about taxes constantly.
Taxation is theft.
Taxation is theft.
Taxation, quite frankly, is theft or armed robbery or extortion.
Yup, taxes are just like robbery, except instead of taking your television away, they take your trash away, which is nice. It's nice.
Look, 80% of people that are in prison are in there for victimless crimes, meaning there was no victim whatsoever. If there's no victim, there is no crime, and they shouldn't be in prison. We shouldn't be wasting tax dollars and imprisoning them. These people just don't pay taxes. You know, they don't want to pay for shit that they don't want. Then there's people that just do drugs. People shouldn't be locked away for smoking a harmless plant. Not only that, the government is a piece of shit. Everything it does out of coercion. It does out of violence. The great thing about the free market and capitalism is that it's completely voluntary. There's nobody getting a gun pointed to their head. There's nobody going to prison for no damn reason. I don't know about you, but a voluntary society sounds like a hell of a lot better than a coercive one. One that throws you in prison for a victimless crime.
Sure, paying taxes doesn't feel good, but once you factor in all the bridges and schools and firefighters and roads and whatnot, it does seem like kind of a fair trade.
Okay, but the private sector could do those things too, and do it better because of competition. Not only that, wouldn't it be nice if you weren't charged for other people using these services when you're not even using them yourself? Wouldn't it be nice if you only got charged when you used them? There's mothers out there that are having 4 kids when they can only afford 1, and you get stuck with the bill paying for their kids' schooling. That's bullshit. And why should you have to pay for somebody else's stupid emergency room visit where they didn't even have to visit the emergency room? They just went there because it's convenient and they would see them fast and pass the bill onto you. Pass the bill, the countless thousands of dollars onto you and society and not have to worry about the bill themselves. That is bullshit. You shouldn't have to pay for that crap. Well, there's a couple things I like the government spending money on. Well, you're spending money on it. The government's taking your money and paying for that stuff for you. They're not doing you any favors. Why not pay for the stuff you want directly, and then you don't have to worry about spending your money on all this crap that you don't want to spend money on, that the government forces you to spend money on? For example, like the drug war. The drug war kills more people than drugs itself because it creates illegal drug cartels and illegal drug dealers who literally have to commit violence for a living just to not be arrested, that go to war with each other. That kills more people than drugs itself. Why do we pay for that? And what about the pointless wars that we go to? That is bullshit. You shouldn't be stuck with that bill if you don't want to pay it. But with the state, you're forced to pay for that along with everything else that you don't want. That's bullshit.
But don't you dare mention roads to libertarians.
Ah, the old who will build the roads. Roads, roads, roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
No, seriously, we need roads.
Private companies already build roads. Who do you think builds them? Politicians? Have you ever seen one out there? I haven't. But to say private companies can't build roads is ridiculous because they already do build roads. And I find it funny that you know that capitalism can feed the entire planet and put amazing technological marvels of computers into tiny little phones. It could do that. It's miraculous. It could build rocket ships that could go into space and then land back into its station on Earth. It could do all these amazing things, but you don't think it could build a flat place? You gotta be kidding me, man.
So what would a completely free market approach to healthcare look like, according to Gary Johnson, who was ultimately selected as the Libertarian nominee for president?
We would have health insurance to cover ourselves for catastrophic injury and illness, and we would pay as you go in a system that was very, very affordable. We would have stitches are us. We would have gallbladders are us. We would have x-rays are us.
Gallbladders are us? Hey, are you tired of those leaky gallbladders that you have to swap out every 6 months like a common windshield wiper? At Gallbladders R Us, we guarantee a leak-free bladder for only $19.99. That's right, I said $19.99. I must be crazy. People are like, wow, I didn't even know gallbladders could be that cheap, but they can be because they're made out of plastic. We also got dogs. Okay, but what about poor people or old people who can't afford organs from Gallbladders R Us? Like, how would libertarians help them?
How many people in here, and I actually do want a show of hands, love grandmas? How many of you would donate money to feed grandmas? I do not see a single person that did not raise their hand. That's how you fund Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare.
And as for grandpas, f*** them.
I think the idea is having donations set up for any person and every person in need. You know, not just one type of person.
So it's clear that libertarianism represents the furthest right-wing fringe of economic conservatism. They're basically like the Stalinists of the right. They're like that tanky Facebook friend you have that keeps sending you those Mao Zedong memes. The only difference is that unlike your one lonely tanky friend, there are literally millions of libertarians. In fact, 1 out of 10 Americans identifies as a libertarian. Think about that. If 1 out of 10 Americans describe themselves as believers of the Juche religion of North Korea, the United States would declare a state of emergency. But no, these people are fine because they don't worship Kim Jong-un, they worship Kim Jong-un Rand. Kim Jong-un Rand, they worship Ayn Rand. The joke is good. It's a good pun.
Kill yourself.
Listen, I don't hate libertarians, okay? Some of my best parents are libertarians, and I actually kind of respect their idealism and the stringency of their beliefs. You know, the same way I respect the idealism and stringency of the Branch Davidians or ISIS. But just like any fringe radical group, we probably should not let them so close to the reins of power.
You better lube that asshole up, America, because if you don't, us libertarians are coming in dry.